everyone, and welcome to this sacred space, and thank you for sharing it with me. Welcome to this week's intuitive guidance and card of the week for the week beginning 16th of May. And I'm a little bit late today because I've just been on a career yoga retreat for the weekend. So I'm very blessed and grateful that I had the opportunity to be able to go away for the weekend and spend some time in meditation and amongst people, like-minded people, and being able to connect and reconnect after such a long time without having any face-to-face connection because of COVID. So I'm very, very grateful for that. It's been an opportunity for me to restore and just have a little bit of a recharge. I had a pretty charged up week last week, like everyone, with the eclipse season and all the changes and transformation that it brings. And I also had a very exciting week because I received the stock of my Pain to Purpose Oracle, which is now available for immediate delivery. So if you would like to purchase my deck, just go to www.antoinettethomson.com/shop and you'll be able to purchase my deck there. So moving on to the intuitive guidance for this week. So today's the blood moon, the blood lunar eclipse moon here in Australia, the 16th of May. For those of you overseas, you may be experiencing it on the 15th of May. So I just want to talk a little bit about the blood moon first before I move on to the card of the week. So it's the blood lunar eclipse in Scorpio, and Scorpio is the sign around death and rebirth and transformation. So very, very much aligned to the energy that is coming through with the eclipse, like from the solar lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse that we had in the new moon, and now the full moon lunar eclipse that we will be having today on the 16th or the 15th of May, depending on your time zone. So it's called the blood moon, and it's because of the hue, that the shadow that's cast on the moon, it gives the moon a bit of a red hue. So if you are lucky enough to see it, I'm not sure that we will see it here in Sydney, but if you're lucky enough to see that happening, it is quite a beautiful experience. I have had the experience of seeing it before, and it is quite a beautiful experience to experience. So as we move into this blood moon and this energy of transformation and death and rebirth, it's important to set an intention to bring an end to anything that we would like to release, any patterns, any trauma, any triggers, any blocks. For me personally, I think the theme for me of releasing in this blood moon is around restrictions around abundance and prosperity and the patterns of lack and having to have to work hard to achieve. So for me, I've been focusing around the themes of abundance and prosperity and divinely guided and divinely timed as always, because I've just received my stock. So of course I want to put out the intention of it going out into the world and bringing much peace and help and support and guidance and abundance and prosperity, whichever definition you attach to abundance or prosperity. For me personally, it's about reaching as many people as possible, as guiding as many people as possible, and supporting as many people as possible through the creation of my deck and through the distribution of my deck throughout the world. So the eclipse season brings a lot of endings, and you may be experiencing, as well with Mercury retrograde on top of everything else, recurring memories coming up, old memories coming up, old wounds coming up for healing, old triggers being triggered, the universe sending you challenges or opportunities, as I like to call them, to re-look at some of the things that are holding you back. So a very, very common theme for a lot of people during this eclipse season, but also it's been like a build up. And now today is even though the eclipse energy will continue probably to the end of the month, it's the culmination today with this blood moon that it's bringing it all to an end. It's bringing it all to a cycle of completion, so that we are then able to step into our destiny, into what is fated for us, in faith, in peace, with grace and ease, rather than with challenge. So yeah, it's very much an ending, transformation, closure, completion cycle. And what I love is reading some of the posts, that some of the astrological posts that are around for the blood moon. They're talking about the energy of a phoenix rising, and I particularly resonate with that energy. I had a very beautiful energy reading and drawing done by a dear soul sister of mine, and she was able to create and describe my energy. It was in the form of a phoenix rising, and it really touched me because it literally has been my spiritual journey. It has literally been my human journey to encompass and embody that energy of the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it's very, 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 very dear to me, that energy. And I love that I'm reading all these posts about the phoenix rising, because I really, really resonate with that energy, and it's embedded in my spiritual journey, in my work, in my writing, in my channeling, in my creating. It's all about pain to purpose, and it's all about rising from the ashes and death and rebirth. So if you're experiencing a lot of pain and at this time, trauma coming up, wounding coming up, know that you are held and it is for your highest good. And the card of the week will actually show this as well when I get into it shortly, that you are here, you are in this place, you are being shown, you are being triggered, you are being given the opportunity to really sit with these triggers, with this trauma, with this pain, with these challenges. Allow yourself to acknowledge it and feel it, and then release it and extract the wisdom that comes from that lesson. So really, really a time for us to not push it under the rug anymore, for us to actually acknowledge what the universe wants us to see, what the universe wants us to release, and know that it is for our highest good, even though we may be feeling very, very hurt or depressed or sad, that it is for our highest good. So that's just a little bit of a summary about what's going on with the energy around the lunar eclipse, the blood moon in the sign of Scorpio. There's many posts and videos out there around it, but I just wanted to give you just a little bit of summary before I get into the card of the week, because it is actually quite related to the card of the week. So I've already had a shuffle, and as always, my cards are from my Pain to Purpose Healing Oracle. So I will show you the card of the week. And again, I encourage you all to just sit with it. And I'll just bring it in, straighten it up a bit. To just look at it and allow yourself, give yourself some permission. Self-care is very extremely important. And I was able to go onto this retreat, and the fact that I stepped up and I went to it, it was a sign of myself actually stepping into realizing when I need to have self-care and when I need to have time out. And it's very, very paramount in this time of extreme change and transformation. So make sure that you set yourself time for self-care in whichever form that takes for you. So this week's card is lesson. And the little phrase is, lesson by lesson, your story told. Lesson by lesson, your story told. And when I think of that, what I think of straight away is our life is a story. Our life is a story of experience. Our life is a story of the experiences that we have had and will have. Our life is a collection, if you like, of stories. And it's interesting because until I had my awakening, I wasn't able to realize that we had a choice in the way that we absorb or the way that we want to understand what happens to us. So we have a choice to change our mindset around our experiences, and we can do that in many ways, but I've now changed changed the way that I speak in a way about seeing a challenge as an opportunity rather as a challenge. And, you know, this takes a lot of inner work and takes a lot of time, especially if you have been stuck in pain or stuck in negative patterns or just recycling the same emotions and wounding, or even suppressing your trauma and pain. So it's an opportunity for us to see that in every experience there is a lesson, that every experience is a blessing. And though we feel wounded and we feel hurt and we feel painful and we feel depressed or we feel anxious and we feel all of those very, very heavy emotions, the key is acknowledging them, holding space for them, not suppressing them further down where they turn into a lot of negative emotions and then eventually can even manifest as physical illness. So this card, when I channeled this card, you know, you look at the center image, and I was channeling that it was the body. So, and like I always say, these cards are for individual interpretation. So there is no right, there is no wrong. It's about making it your own personal healing journey. So if you take the center image as being the body, and then you look at the two sides, and the body holds all of our lessons. The body holds all of our experiences. The body holds all of our energy, and that energy is affected by the experiences that we have. And these experiences altogether, they're a collection to make up our story. So, you know, we have experiences of darkness, we have experiences of rain, we have experiences of storms in our life, you know, metaphorically, challenges, you know, things where the challenges on every level, mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And then on the other side, we have the blue sky and the rainbow and the positivity and the growth. You know, you may want to say that this is like dark night of the soul, and then this is the wisdom and the light that comes from the darkness, because without the darkness, there is no light. So this card basically means, you know, that lessons are an opportunity for growth, that we have a choice to make in our mindset if we want to use the energy to support us, if we want to utilize the challenge or the opportunity, as I like to say it, that the universe has brought us to be able to learn, to be able to grow, to be able to evolve. And that's really difficult because for 20 years of my life, I was stuck in that pain. I was stuck in chronic illness. I could not see the light. All I saw was darkness. And during that time, it was a very difficult time where I didn't think that there was going to be a way out. And I'm sure that there are people out there that are listening that feel the same. And now, you know, I've come through and I've been able to understand, hold space for that time, hold space for myself, and realize that that was an opportunity for me to gain the experience, to be able to be the person that I am now, and to be able to be a guide and a support for others to help them on their own individual healing journey. So if you are experiencing a lot coming up, a lot of wounding or trauma or pain or triggers at the moment, know that it is for your highest good. Know that the universe is sending you this opportunity so that you will be able to sit with that pain and process that pain. But the point of it all is to not sit there. The point of it is to show yourself love and compassion and empathy, to process, to do that inner work, to go to the root cause, to change your mindset, to understand that this is an opportunity for you to grow and evolve. And suffering is part of the process. Pain is part of the process. Pain is where we grow. Pain is where we grow. So I'm going to read out the guided message that I received when I was channeling this drawing. And again, I encourage you to just sit for a few moments and use it as a reflection or as a journal prompt or just as a thought process to help you and to guide you through if you are experiencing a difficult time during this eclipse season. Lesson by lesson, your story told. We have been given life to explore, experience, and to learn. Lessons are often given to us when we are not asking for them. The story of life is our experiences, our thoughts, our feelings, our expression. They are all lessons that we have acquired and accumulated during our existence. Life is an acquisition of lessons. For those of us who wish to resist, the lesson will be repeated until the pattern is broken or the gift of adversity accepted. Lessons are not taught by a teacher, for that is external learning. For the true meaning of learning, we must look within ourselves to find the why and the how. If we follow the leader or some specific instruction, we are following the lessons of others rather than those of ourselves. For it is through our interpretation that we accept the lesson. Christ taught us through parables, but the lesson was there to be interpreted by the individual. The meaning for one may not be the meaning for another. As stories are told, we will listen and absorb into our system to be interpreted in the way that we most need. In accumulating all the lessons, we also tell our stories. Stories are a form of expressing themes which more than likely will birth lessons. By gathering the lessons of our life, we aim to move forward with an increased understanding of why we are here and what we are here to do. Always look for the gift that is hidden in the shadow of the darkness, of the emptiness or despair. For every storm there is turmoil, for every rainbow there is rain, and for every sunshine there is darkness. Gather your thoughts, gather your lesson, gather your experiences, for these make the stories that will fill the book of your life. So a beautiful channeled message to go with this beautiful card. The theme for this week, lesson. So we are being called to gather our lessons, to gather our stories, to gather our experiences, and realize too that we too can be the phoenix rising from the ashes, being the observer, being able to look down on the destruction from a different mindset, from a different light, from above, from a higher frequency, from a place of wisdom and knowledge and detachment to the emotion of it, because we have already processed and held space for that emotion that is attached to that trigger or that pain or that obstacle or that challenge or that blockage or that restriction. So the key is allowing, the key is acknowledging. It's the first step of healing. And it was the card of the month for this month. Acknowledgement, to acknowledge that not yet forgiven. So a lot to think about, a lot to explore, a lot to reflect upon. Look at the lessons that you've attained through the challenges that you've experienced during your lifetime. And being in a space of gratitude for having those experiences and having the knowledge and the wisdom that has come from those experiences, and being that phoenix flying over with open wings and the majestic energy of the phoenix, the open wings, the freedom, the liberation, the higher frequency, the higher consciousness that we can achieve through extracting the wisdom from our lessons. So I will leave you with that, beautiful souls. I wish you all a beautiful week. I hope that you are able to see the wisdom from the experiences that you have had during this lifetime and perhaps other lifetimes, and realize how far you have come, and realize and connect with that light within you, and realize that light that is within you, that your stories are your stories, and we all have a story to tell, and together we provide that ripple effect of healing through the collective. I wish you all a beautiful week. Peace, light, and love to you all, and I'll see you next week with next week's intuitive guidance. Thank you all so much. Peace, love, and light. Bye for now.